This project is under the Open Gaming License. With use from the SRD-20, it contains coarse language, sexual themes, violence, and may not be suitable for all audience. Discretion is advised.
Alright, so we're going to start things off here. How about we start to the... Well, I already said Alpha, so you start. Go.
Well, I am Alpha. I'm playing today the cleric named Zethriel Gothmog. He's a human. Not that special.
I'm Beta, hello, and I'm playing Huffington Rednose the Mighty Gnome Wizard.
Any specialist on that one there?
Yes, illusionary.
Oh,
I like to F with people's brains because I'm a midget.
illusory. Alright, and this is Rushdown playing the DM as well as giving them an NPC because the two of them will surely go and die if I didn't. My character is a monk with the sleeping tiger variant, and his name is Rasu. Moving right along, we're going to kind of start off in a scenic part separate from the adventure. You're going to learn to know of two typical characters that are actually going to be plaguing us from the beginning.
Really?
And just like every other generic game of role-playing stylization we're going to have, it starts in a tavern.
Yay!
In the corner sits a figure in a black robe, sipping a mandula.
I thought it would be a mojito.
No, it's too warm. It's cold out there for that.
Wait, chips.
Chips. As a bugbear opens a bag of chips in the tavern, making a horrible sound throughout it, in walks halfling, rather gaudily dressed, and looking rather, what's the word I'm looking for? Pimpish.
What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, he's a pimp.
Pimpish. Hops directly over to the man in dark robes and pulls up a chair.
It kind of scuttles up on it.
Hilgo, you're late.
Yeah, I was busy.
With what?
I don't think you want to know. It had something to do with your mom and your sister.
My mother's death, and I do not have a sister.
That's going to be awkward for her. And your mother? She's a little cold.
Hilgo, the only reason our organization continues to deal with you is because of your immeasurable resources. Do not tempt me to find other ways of dealing with our matters. It has come to our attention that a map has been procured for the temple of Freeran, the Mad Cleric. Unfortunately, later in his life, he felt he could create a being more perfect than man and set out on a foolish quest to do it. He found a small cavernous area in which to do it, complete silence. Unfortunately, he has not been seen or heard from, but that is not the reason why I'm concerned. Freeran contained a particular, shall we say, fragment of the past that must not fall into dubious hands. I have reason to believe that it is hidden down somewhere inside his temple. Unfortunately, this is the half of the map which I was able to procure from the Temple of Shadows. They have the other half.
So go in, get the other half, get the item, and get out.
The other half is of no concern. What we need to do is assemble a team of people to go in and get that, but we cannot be seen to have any involvement. That is why we're bothering to deal with you again.
You say it with such hostility. I think we're great friends. Want a hug?
Do you think you'll be able to find the proper people to penetrate this and get what we need done?
I can penetrate any hole it has. Make sure it's airtight, baby.
Just for once. Can we treat this like a proper business meeting?
That's what I'm doing.
Do you have the resources, or at least a team, to find this location?
Yep. Of course I do. It's me.
Are you thinking 4 adventurers or a threesome?
You know, 4 is kind of a crowded number. I prefer the 3. So a threesome would be nice.
Very well, Hilda.
And I'll leave your sister and mom alone.
Don't fail us.
Bye. Hey, time to go round up the Brady Bunch.
So, I'm assuming Hilgo is going to round up the troops, so to speak.
He'll go and round up some people that he's worked with in the past here and there.
Okay. Same bat time, same bat channel?
Yep.
All
All
right.
meeting at the little tiny meeting house.
Meeting hole?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. The first person to arrive is actually going to be Rashu. In walks.
Kazoo type.
In walks a monk dressed in typical, monk gear, kind of a white gi kind of thing with some leather shoes and a headband. On him, he has a comma along with two sides and two pouches on the side. That's always kind of visible. He's also wearing a strong set of bracers. Going in, he looks around the dark, dank space that he was sent to. Looking around the room, it's basically a 10 by 10 by 7 feet high carved hole in the ground, essentially, just out back off of the side of a cellar in a tavern. The room itself has a musky smell to it, dark corners, no windows, lit by two candles on either end of a table that used to be a door in a former life, sitting on a ale barrel cut in half. There are about
Which side of the barrel is cut in half? Is
the
it cut down the middle?
no, it's cut down the side.
Down this way?
Down the side.
Because that's important.
So you cut it down. You know what I mean, like
Like,
half.
it's in the middle. This
Oh,
way.
yeah, yeah.
Not vertical, horizontally.
Yeah.
Cutting it horizontally.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Because
so-
vertically, that would just...
That would just work. Yeah, it'd be a very
Yeah.
wobbly, more like a seesaw. There's like
I can imagine
Like
Bush
four-
Dragons having a seesaw
I can see
table.
Hilgo having that too.
little supports too. Sitting around are four chairs, two of which match. One's missing a seat in the back, like a back to the chair itself. The monk character kind of looks around, goes, and goes and sits down on the one with a back, and anxiously waits for the other compatriots for this meeting to come in.
So yeah, I guess Huffington Rednose, being drawn by lures of more loot and potential spellbooks and scrolls, would come in his very austere noble's outfit, bedecked with gems, jewels, and silks, hiding his many wands on his belt and assorted spell components. Eyes the table, seeing that there is now one strange-looking individual at the table. Yes, you're strange.
You got pier beads sitting back like that, just relaxing.
So now you're trying to make yourself sound more like a hippie.
I wouldn't say a hippie. He's got like the beads and the gi going on.
So an Asian hippie.
Sure.
Or Ryu from Street Fighter.
That's
Ryu from Street Fighter, but with like no hair, like shaved right now.
And
Okay.
Akuma's beads.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Okay. So yeah, he will sit himself quietly at the table, waiting to see what information is produced and who else could potentially show up.
Okay, Raju's gonna kind of look over you and just kind of give you like a little head nod, like, hey.
Kind of just, I'll give the head nod back, but very suspicious, as I am of all people taller than me.
Which is everybody.
Everyone but Nixies. You trust Nixies.
You trust little pixies, nixies,
Yeah.
sprites.
Chickens are awesome.
Chickens are cool.
Yeah.
Cats, dogs.
Squirrels.
It's not all dogs, some dogs.
Exactly.
Jerboa. You love a jerboa.
Jerboa.
Shortly after the gnome sits down, in walks a man cloaked in his little black robe, wearing spiked breastplate that's a little lighter than usual. And he just goes over and he sits down without saying a word.
Again, you get the little head nod and like half wave.
He gives you a nod and he takes off his helmet, puts it down, and all he is he's a normal looking human, just a little bit more paler than the average folk.
Okay.
I definitely am squinting at you, kind of suspicious of that.
Because he's pale?
Oh, I don't know. Big black armor covered in spikes. Pale dude inside. Yeah, doesn't say much. Yeah, I'm kind of suspicious of that.
Okay.
Naturally. You're smart enough.
It's true.
All right. Yeah. So of course, after everyone's kind of sitting down for a little bit, in walks Hilgo.
So Hilgo waddles on in. He's a halfling, so he's a little bit on the chunky side. With his gaudy outfit, looking like a little pimp. Like he even has the fur line around his neck from a fox he's skinned.
Or had some skin.
Or had someone skinned, because, well, he has the money to do it.
Yep.
He is the head of the Thieves Guild, after all. Ah, see, everyone's here. Alright, I won't waste your time. You're supposed to go to the Temple of Free Ran. Go in there, find me the ancient relic. Here's a little map. Sorry, it's a little singed, but it'll do you nicely. You're supposed to go in, take care of whatever's in your way, get the relic, and get out. Anything in there besides the relic is yours. Everything, the relic and the job part of it, it's mine.
What are we likely to find in there?
I've never been in there, so I would know.
Does anyone have knowledge religion?
I do, actually.
Okay, you can make a knowledge religion check or history if you got that.
Nope, just the knowledge arcana.
Okay.
That would be 15.
15? Okay, that's enough. You happen to know that the Lost Temple of Freeran, he was a cleric of relative significance. He belonged to a long-standing order of, basically of life, but also of creation. As time kind of went on, he started going a little bit
Crazy?
crazy, and he felt that he knew how to build creatures such as zombies, golems, things like that.
That explains what my guy knows about him.
But they'll keep their free, like they can be taught. Like you could raise them, they could be put into normal society and actually be better than the ones that are currently here.
So, random question.
Yep.
If I attempt another religion roll, would I be able to decide, now that you said that and that jogged my memory, would I be able to know what this artifact that he might be after is?
You can try.
Okay, I'm going to try. Because this guy sounds like someone I would probably have studied. Because me and him have almost the same goals. 15 again.
No, you have an idea. Maybe it
What
might
would it be about?
It might be about that.
Yeah.
But you can't think of anything significant tying to Freeran.
Mm-hmm.
However, you do know that Freeran did disappear from the church that he kind of procured over, and at the same time, he was basically like an arc priest. They aren't exactly poor.
Yeah.
And in order to do what he was probably planning on doing, he probably needs to have a significant hoard of materials. Not only that, but resources to do it. So the reward inside this temple that you know of
Would be...
would be pretty significant.
Alright, well, I'm going to...
Do you share that any of this information?
I'm going to turn on and be like, I know exactly who this cleric is. I've studied him in the past. He was a man that went mad with wanting to create the perfect being. He was one of the highest priests of his order. So the reward there, we're going to find something. We're going to find a lot more than probably what this relic is.
Now, Hilgo is able to provide you with the approximate location of where this would be, but he doesn't divulge who his contact was or how he knows.
Of course
about
he
this.
wouldn't. And I think by now, since he's probably worked with everyone, well, at least a few people here, or he's known of them, they know not to ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
So-
we're not the new springtime adventurers.
Exactly. Does Hilgo warn them at all that the Order of Shadows is
Watch out for those shadow folk. The Order of Shadow?
shadow folk?
It's the Order of Shadow. They're preoccupied in there.
I know who they are. In fact, everyone kind of knows who they are. They're basically a group of brigands, that's the easiest way to describe them, that consist of two different types of people. Sorcerers and warriors. And they've taken to themselves to basically go around and gather ancient relics and artifacts to bolster their own numbers. All they're doing is walking through towns, taking people who are sick and tired of working in mud pits and doing all these things there, and just adding them to the ranks. They don't have necessarily skill or ability. What they have is numbers. And as soon as they get more and more magical stuff, that's where people are. Before it was just like a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, the order, like, oh dear. Not here comes the shadows, oh darn. But yeah, exactly. Here comes a mob, right? Like a group of organized brigands. But now that number actually surges to around 5,000.
Oh wow.
Whatever item this one is, obviously whoever's employing Hilgo doesn't want them to have it. Because if they actually go unchecked for a while, these brigands might actually become a significant order. I mean, that's how these things get started, right? People think they're nuts, and then they go off and actually do something they never expected.
Generally what happens.
So
are these the little clan of Shadow, basically, are they evil, or are they just...
they're greedy.
Oh, okay.
That's basically kind of the end of it. They don't feel too bad about roughing up people to get information.
Okay, so, and as you said, we know about them.
Yeah, you know about them. You know they're not really good people. You know their ends have nothing to do with, we want to get them to, it's not like we're getting these because they belong in a museum. They're going out there and taking them to
They're not Dr. Jonesing it up.
No, they're actually using it to basically grow their personal empire. Kind of like Rome, except with land, it's with everything in between. Kind of like they start off in like this little encampment, and they're kind of spreading all around there, gaining momentum as they grow.
Why has no one tried to stop them?
Because they thought it was a joke until now.
They thought it was a joke until it was a little bit too late, and now they're kind of in order. So people are kind of standing up for it a little bit, but it's also really hard to necessarily identify them. Because they are just like a ragtag group of people, the only way to really identify them is the fact that they wear certain cloaks when they're in the order. If they're not in the order, they could look like you. They could look like a fighter. They could look like anyone. Their strength lies in the fact that they look like the common everyday rabble.
Fine.
Right.
So your solution is what you're saying is we must wipe out the peasantry. All of them.
If that's the way you want to take what the GM just described, then sure.
Well,
a lineman check.
let's scream!
Yeah, let's scream.
So, we go in, we get this artifact.
Will they be guarding this temple, or are they going to be looking into this
They're
temple
looking for it. They have the other half, and from what you can see here, probably the more significant half.
Yeah, we kind of got a few circles, a square, rectangle.
It looks, for those who can't see,
It's pretty much the
singed.
entrance.
It looks like it was thrown into a fire and then hastily taken out after it was ripped or something.